Hey guys, how are you? I'm Jay, and today we are looking at the brand new Benchmade Freek in M4 steel, and we're going to try and find out if it's worth the purchase. So you should be looking at some specs right about now. These are measurements that I had personally taken myself, but don't worry, I will also have them listed down in the description below, so for those of you interested, you can kind of follow along through the video. This is the Benchmade Freek 560 BK-1, and for those of you that are running really short on time, let me go ahead and just tell you this. I absolutely love the changes that Benchmade did here with the handle and the upgraded blade material. But if you are not a proficient sharpener yet, this may not be the wisest choice for you. You might just want to stick with the standard version in the S30V blade steel. Now, if you're still watching, that means you are really looking for some more information. So here it is. Now, the biggest differences here between the BK-1 and the standard 560 really is just going to be the materials used. You can see here for the handle, Benchmade went with it's black and gray G10 scales with what Benchmade is calling a red base layer on the inside and some gorgeous, look at those, red anodized barrel spacers. Man, does that look sharp. Now I just want to go ahead and bring you in really close so you can get a look at the blade here, which is of course the CPM-M4 steel with a black cerakote finish. Now, M4 is considered a super steel. It has fantastic edge retention, and it's going to be very similar to like M390, S90V, and S110V. Unfortunately, the corrosion resistance here of M4 is actually categorized as worse than D2, which is exactly why Benchmade went ahead and went with this cerakote finish. So now some of the other differences between the two include the handle thickness. Now, just staring at these two side by side, you really, honestly, you can't tell. And I might even go as far to say is that when you're holding it in your hand, you might not be able to tell as well. But the M4 bladed version has a handle thickness of 0.61, and the standard in S30V is going to be 0.63. So just a hair thicker on the standard. Now, those differences in the handle material is also going to affect the weight, which I'm going to show you right now. And you can see the newer BK1, 4.3 ounces. Why don't we check grams? Okay, so 120 grams, and then the standard version in S30V is going to be 108 grams and 3.7 ounces. So yeah, just a little bit lighter with the standard version. Since M4 has a higher hardness rating than the S30V, if you damage the edge here on the M4, it's going to be more likely to chip, whereas here on the S30V, it's more likely to roll the edge. So of course that also means, you know, M4 is definitely going to hold its edge a heck of a lot longer than S30V, but you know what comes along with that. Yeah, it is definitely going to take you a heck of a lot longer to sharpen this. I am just a huge fan of the Freek's blade shape with it's got that wide profile drop point, and you can see it, of course, it draws design influence from the now discontinued Doug Ritter Griptilian, which I have here in the middle. Now, speaking of the Griptilian, as long as I have it out here on the table, do you remember when the Freek first came out and everyone was kind of wondering and saying that, man, I wonder if this is going to kill the Griptilian? Well, I think that we now have confidently answered that question, and we can say no, since Benchmade has recently announced that they are upgrading the steel across the whole Griptilian line to the S30V. Now there's two other minor differences that I just want to point out to you between the two, and it's going to be the color of the axis lock studs. So if you can see here on the new M4 blade, it's the black anodized studs, which I really wish that they would have used on the standard Freak down here. And let's see, so can you tell what the other minor difference is just by looking? Yeah, it's going to be here at the pivot screw, and you can see the side that is actually keyed for the Torx bit on that pivot screw is different from the standard to the new M4 version. If you are looking to take apart your Benchmade Freak, I actually have a axis lock disassembly video that you can watch. All you have to do is, you see, yep, up there in that corner, you can go ahead at the end of the video and click on that card, and you can watch that full disassembly video. Now, for the amount of money that Benchmade is asking for this this new version, which we will get to the price here in just a minute, it really would have been nice if a deep carry clip was included, because it actually ships with this. It's manufactured with the split arrow clip, which I know there's a lot of you that actually like the split arrow clip. I'm personally just not a fan of it, so I went ahead and put on the deep carry, which you can get for free if you go onto Benchmade's website and request it. They'll ship it right out to you. Another welcome surprise is, well, regarding the G10 scales, because it is much easier to get this one in and out of the pocket now than it is with the Grivery and Versaflex, because, you know, those of you that have this know it does tend to, this rubbery stuff kind of gets hung up on your pocket material. Not happening here with the black and gray G10. Okay, so the price. Well, the new version, $191, is of course considerably more than the $119 for the S30V version. But I mean, there are some Benchmade models that do sell for $191 with S30 blade steel. I mean, the Mini Crooked River, for example. So if you look at it that way, I mean, $191 really is pretty darn good for M4 steel. Now, I can actually offer you some relief with that price tag. Here's what you have to do. If you go to White Mountain Knives and you enter in the coupon code LeftyLove, what that will do is it'll give you 10% off of your purchase. But don't worry, I will go ahead and include all of the links down below. Oh, hey, if you guys like what I'm doing here on the channel, go ahead and click on that subscribe button, and if you like the video, leave me a thumbs up, would you? Thanks. I do want to go ahead and, why don't we go ahead and test out that cerakote finish, and let's just see how it holds up on some cardboard here. So I'm just showing you now. You can see there are absolutely no marks anywhere on the finish. So let's see. Whoa. Dang, are you kidding me? That is fantastic. Let's check. Well, look at that, not a mark. Let me get some of that dust off the paper. And now, before we go, I would love to hear from you. And all I would like to know is just, which version of the Benchmade Freak do you own, or do you plan on owning? The M4, the S30V, or the Mini? Let me know. Comment section down below. So where does that leave us here with the 560 BK-1? Well, in regards to like user knives in your collection, I'm one of those people. I truly believe that in buying knives that you know that you can sharpen. With that being said, if you're a proficient sharpener, you're comfortable maintaining an M4 blade, then absolutely make that purchase. I mean, because this is gonna stay sharp for a very long time.